Welcome back. Next guest is the Executive Director of Volunteers of Legal Services, and he joined us to discuss their work in response to COVID-19. We welcome Marsha Levy to the show. Marsha, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Yes. Tell us everything that you're doing.
We're doing so much, and it's overwhelming, but I will have to say that we're thrilled to be able to have the expertise to be able to represent low-income New Yorkers who are facing tremendous difficulties, as we all know, during COVID-19. It might be helpful just to tell you about VOLS in general, and then I'll drill down on
Sure.
some of the specific work we're doing. VOLS was formed 35 years ago, actually at a time of crisis when there were many cuts to legal services, and we got formed to help to make a connection between legal service and the many lawyers who wanted to volunteer their time to give back to the community and to use their expertise to represent people. Fast forward 35 years, and we have a staff of 19 experts, lawyers, and legal staff who help low-income immigrants, small business owners, elderly, veterans, incarcerated mothers. We also work with unemployed workers as well. And we've just launched a hotline actually for unemployed workers because we all see that, there's a pandemic just in that area as well. And so we're taking calls, and I know that you're going to share our hotline information
Sure.
from people for everything from starting the process of working in unemployment to representation once there are hearings.
Tell us about your COVID-19 response work.
So the COVID-19 response work, there's, again, our regular work, you might say, is pandemic work, because of course we know
You
that
started during a situation.
right, and also that poverty and low-income people face myriad legal issues all the time. But our specific work to COVID, again, is relaunching our unemployed workers project. We're working with many of the large law firms so that when we get a call, not only can we give the help, but we can multiply the impact by getting large law firms and companies to have their lawyers volunteer with our clients. We also are, we're also working with elderly and veterans. You could imagine that they're such a group that is so poorly so badly impacted by this, and to do life planning with them is really critical as people, we're all thinking about issues of, health and mortality. And it's important to have the paperwork in place to be able to know who's going to make decisions about your health, what's going to happen with your belongings. I want to tell you, actually, if you don't mind, about a new life planning project that we have. And that is our healthcare and frontline worker project.
Yes.
And that project is specifically geared towards exactly that, healthcare workers and frontline workers. That could be anybody working in the medical facilities and medical fields. And what we want to do is, we know it's a difficult topic, but we know that they're worrying about their own health and their own life planning. And we're there to provide free help. We have a form, it's online, and we are working with, again, law firms and companies that are happy to provide their services for free. So we hope you'll let your constituents know that that exists.
Yeah, and this is something that a lot of people are reluctant to talking about, where am I going after? And, how do I set that up? And they really don't do it. A lot of people don't do it to the last minute, but a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't want to think about it.
Of course, it's a very difficult topic.
Yeah, but this is something, this pandemic is making people say, hey, wait a minute, I have to think about this, because I can be here today and gone tomorrow. Just like that. I mean, we see it all over the news. It's right in front of us.
Right. And it's important. I think it gives people peace of mind to know that they have thought about it. Gives us all a little more control, but also keeping in mind that it's also about who's going to take care of you if you're sick, who's going to make decisions. And that alone is a real critical piece. So again, we want to make that available. And, there are so many people, we have to do a shout out. It's not just the doctors and the nurses. It's also people who work in the hospitals, people who do deliveries, people who are serving the food, who are cleaning up. All of those people we consider, and that's why we said healthcare and frontline, because we feel like you're all on the front line.
Well, you have to give us your information so that the people can find out what to do. This is the time.
It is really the time. And the last thing I just want to say, in addition, again, immigrants we know are facing even more difficult issues, fear, as well, about seeking help, and we hope they will, and we'll call our hotline, especially anyone out there who is looking at DACA renewal during 2020. We are working fast and furious to get people renewed because we don't know. The Supreme Court of the United States is going to be issuing a decision on that
Yeah.
anytime between now and June. And we want to make sure that people have renewed their documents or created documents so that they are in the best position to stay in this country. These are hardworking people who are, many restaurant workers we're seeing lose their jobs, and we want to be there. So I know you're going to share hotline information, and I
Yeah.
hope that people call us.
We'll
And
put it up for you.
finally, thank you. And I just want to say one other thing, because, this will cover all the areas, and I know I'm speaking quickly to get it all in there. And we love the Bronx, by the way. We do a lot of work in the Bronx. We work with a number. Our model is to work with over 210 community organizations where, so we're up there. And even though I'm a girl from Brooklyn, I love the Bronx.
There you go.
My
You're working the
late
five
husband,
boroughs.
right? My late husband was a Bronx boy and went to DeWitt Clinton, and so
Oh,
we
yeah.
know it. We know it well. But
Yes.
also we work with incarcerated mothers, and you can imagine at this time, nobody is able to visit. They can't visit their children. Phone
Yeah.
calls are very difficult. Their circumstances of living in close quarters, using phones that other people have used, not enough cleaning supplies or soap. We really want to do a shout out to that group of people, to the children of incarcerated, knowing they're home from school and they can't talk to their parents to help them with their schoolwork, even incarcerated parents.
Same thing with the hospitals. You can't visit or talk to your loved ones. Sometimes a nurse will let you do a FaceTime, but a lot of times no. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, really important to think about the programs, the wonderful programs that serve, that group of people, including us. We help with legal work on family law matters relating to their relationship with their children. So just to say, in all of those areas, if you know somebody, an immigrant, someone incarcerated, a small business, a healthcare worker, someone unemployed, please have them call Volunteers of Legal Service, also known as VOLS, and we're really, really happy to help.
There you go. Thank you so much. Marsha Levy, Director of Volunteers of Legal Services. We love you and thank you for all the work that you do.
And thank
We
you for what
appreciate
you're
your
doing.
service. Yes.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Stay safe, stay healthy. We love you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break and we've got more next.